News with Brian Wilk, meteorologist Craig Flint, and Mike Finner with sports. You're watching Fox 66 News First at 10.
A matter of trust and protection, local African-American leaders are coming together to make sure more people of color have access to the COVID-19 vaccine. Good evening, I'm Brian Wilk. Local African-American clergy leaders are putting together a plan to protect communities of color. The story's new tonight at 10 o'clock. Chelsea Swift joins us in the control room with more about why these leaders are encouraging the community to trust and receive the COVID-19 vaccines. Chelsea?
Hi, Brian. They say they're advocating for more people of color to have access to vaccines to better protect themselves from this virus that has killed so many.
It is our responsibility as black pastors to provide our institutions as locations.
Charles Mock and other members of the African American clergy gathering to address the need for vaccines in local black and brown communities, whether it be at local churches or community centers.
We're trying to partner with the AAC and the NAACP is to get greater access from their churches. Pastors have always been looked at as leaders of our community, and as they get vaccinated, their congregation will follow.
Sherrod says the Minority Community Investment Coalition has teamed up with Allegheny Health Network to ensure the community's access to vaccines at larger distribution sites like the Erie Insurance Arena. One member of the African American clergy says he received both doses of the COVID vaccine to encourage communities of color to do the same.
Some of them have developed this idea that the vaccine could be harmful to them. I took the vaccine to let them see at this point I'm 3 weeks past the second vaccine and I'm fine.
Radcliffe says after receiving the Moderna vaccine from the VA hospital, he is living proof that the vaccine can be more helpful than harmful.
I say to them, whichever negative reactions you've heard of is nothing compared to 450,000 people who are not with us now.
Now, the MCIC is working with Allegheny Health Network to set up vaccine appointments as they become available, setting up 500 people with vaccines today. Brian?
Chelsea Swift reporting. Thank you very much. AHN St. Vincent Hospital held the region's largest vaccination clinic since the 1950s today. Julia Hazel shares more on the vaccination event at Erie Insurance Arena.
Allegheny Health Network St. Vincent Hospital held a COVID-19 vaccination clinic at Erie Insurance Arena for high-risk seniors that pre-registered.
I don't have internet, and I was looking for, and I had cancer last year. So far, everything's doing good, and they called me and asked me if I wanted to get vaccinated. I said, sure, yeah.
This clinic was not offering walk-ins, but specifically sought people who needed it the most.
Patients that we identified either through our chart or through their physicians as being older than 65 and or having significant health conditions.
Especially those in minority groups.
15% of the patients are from the minority or marginalized community. We open slots up for those patients, and community leaders are identifying those patients and bringing them to us.
2,500 people are expected to get their first dose of the Pfizer vaccine today. After today's event, AHN St. Vincent Hospital will have given out 17,000 doses of the Pfizer vaccine since the pandemic began.
We'll continue to have our vaccine clinic back at the hospital. We want to consider other events like this as well based on how the supplies allow.
Method here being going through the process, getting their first shot, waiting their 15 minutes to make sure they don't have any ill reactions.
And now people are offering hope for others.
Relax, do what you're supposed to do. Wear your mask, stay 6 feet apart. Your turn is coming. This is very important.
Julia Hazel, Fox 66 News.
Meanwhile, in Erie County, there have been 34,344 total vaccinations. In Crawford County, 19,919 have been performed. Warren County, 6,352 shots total. Across the state, more than 1.93 million folks have received the shot. More than 1 year into the pandemic, the U.S. is nearing 500,000 lives lost from COVID-19. This as new cases continue to trend downward and vaccinations are on the rise, but more contagious variants are still cause for concern. Fox News correspondent Charles Watson has the story.
Roughly 1 year since the first known COVID-19 death in the U.S., the nation is approaching a grim milestone: 500,000 virus-related deaths. That's more than the number of Americans killed in both World Wars and the Vietnam War combined. The loss is staggering, but there is some hope on the horizon. New cases are rapidly declining, hospitalizations are at their lowest level in months, and vaccinations are gaining speed. After severe winter weather delayed the shipment of some 6 million doses, officials say the vaccine campaign is getting back on track.
By July, we will have enough. We will have the 600 million doses that we contracted for from 2 companies. It is very likely that before then we're going to start vaccinating people who are outside of the priority groups.
Even as immunity increases and states loosen restrictions, health officials say it is not the time to let your guard down. Several new variants have been detected in the U.S. and the contagious strain found in the U.K. is a particular concern. As the variants continue to spread across the country, experts are working to convince hesitant people to get vaccinated.
Well, to be honest with you, I wasn't going to do it at all. I wasn't for it, but I think it's a need now.
The international community has also reached another harrowing point in the pandemic. On Sunday, Italy marked 1 year since the country's first coronavirus case. The U.S. is expected to exceed those 500,000 COVID-19 deaths by the end of this week. In Atlanta, Charles Watson, Fox 66 News.
27 more people have died across the state due to COVID-19. Here are the latest numbers according to the State Department of Health. Erie County reporting 61 new positive COVID-19 cases today. The case total now stands at nearly 17,000. Crawford County, 12 new cases. Warren County, no new cases. Ashtabula County, 10 cases. Chautauqua County continues to report a total of 7,391 cases. Across the state, 1,906 new cases were reported. Over 913,000 cases have been reported since the beginning of the pandemic. The total number of deaths across the state now, 27,597. And we have more news coming up in a moment, but first, meteorologist Craig Flint has your Fox First forecast. Hey, Craig.
Brian, kind of a weird night tonight because, well, the southeast winds are really kicking up here, so temperatures compared to where they were during the early show are going up. That's a look live right now at French Creek Parkway and Mead Ave down in Meadville there, and we're watching the clouds thicken up, the wind picking up as expected as well, and there are some returns showing up here on Storm Tracker Doppler. The low level is still very dry, so a lot of this is kind of false echoes not reaching the ground, but some snow off to the south and west will continue to filter in. 34, south-southeast wind at 15, so those numbers will continue to rise, but the dew point at 9, so that's what I was talking about, really dry air. Mid-upper 30s by the time you wake up tomorrow, a little burst of wet snow and then mixing before tapering off through the afternoon. It will stay windy through the day on Monday. Complete forecast coming up later in the newscast. Brian?
Thanks, Craig. Erie Fire City and EMS were called to the Richford Arms Apartments at 515 State Street for a reported fire. According to Erie County 911, a kitchen fire located on the 5th floor of the building is the cause. A male tenant suffered severe burns and was life-flighted to the UPMC Burn Center located in Pittsburgh. Firefighters were able to put out the fire quickly. The condition of the tenant is unknown. A toddler is in the hospital following a wreck today. According to Erie County 911, the two-vehicle wreck happened around 2:30 on West 10th and Cranberry Streets. One of the vehicles rolled over. Multiple people were transported by ambulance, one of them a toddler. The severity of the injuries not known at this time. Former Erie City Council President SONYA ARRINGTON's sentence hearing has been pushed back. It's continuing coverage tonight at 10 o'clock. According to a court order filed on Friday, her sentencing hearing has now been moved to May 24th. She was scheduled to be sentenced on federal fraud charges this coming Tuesday. There was no immediate information as to why the change was made. Arrington is accused of stealing money from her nonprofit organization to pay bills, go to Disney World, and feed her gambling habit. She has already pleaded guilty to fraud. Federal sentencing guidelines call for a sentence of at least 2 years and 3 months in prison, but Arrington's defense attorney is making a case for probation or house arrest. Well, with the 46-hour dance marathon now in the books, it was another successful year for Penn State's THON marathon. The event turned virtual this year due to the COVID-19 pandemic. This year, the celebration raised over $10 million. The event benefits 4 Diamonds, which is a program at Penn State's Health Children Hospital. Their mission is to conquer childhood cancer. 5 student dancers from Penn State Barron took part in this year's event.
Texas is slowly recovering from that historic winter storm. I'm Casey Stiegel in Dallas. We've got the latest on the relief efforts as well as how some Texans are reporting extremely high energy bills.
Plus tonight, meet and greet. The Erie Catholic school system hosted a meet and greet for prospective families at 4 of their area schools. We'll take you there. And a young rower making a huge accomplishment and one that will place her in the record books.
See news happening? Shoot it, then send it to us via Facebook.